I want to start by saying that if you aren't serious about Instagram growth, click off this video now. Only stay if your attention span isn't severely impaired and you're willing to actually sacrifice a few minutes of your day to some valuable social media tips. A lot of the videos you see online give really average and overused advice on how to properly grow on Instagram. So I'll give you some less talked about tips that have helped me gain insane engagement on numerous accounts. The follow for follow method is great for speeding up the audience growth process, but I have a very specific way of doing it because the traditional method is absolutely terrible. Out of 100 people you follow, only some will follow back, but audience members are still being cultivated. The method does actually work, although it should be used with extreme caution, since the method could lead to a shadow ban very easily. For fresh Instagram accounts, you should complete a maximum of 25 follows per day. The traditional method is to simply follow a bunch of accounts interested in your niche, but there is a particular way to execute this. Here are the following instructions. Firstly, find an account with 20 to 90,000 followers in your niche with a good engagement level. Then, go to their most recent post and go on the likes list to see the accounts that like the post. Finally, go through each individual account on the list and only follow the accounts that are private accounts which follow more than 250 accounts and have a higher following number than followers number. Here is a good example. The next important thing we need to talk about is analytics and what actually causes virality. Sometimes we fall into the trap of overestimating how good our content is. Even when we ask our family members and friends if our content is engaging, they often lie to avoid offending us. Analytics are very useful in general, but the key metric we should focus on is retention rates. Retention rates are displayed as percentages. These percentages highlight how long the average audience member watches our videos for. You should be aiming to hit the 50% attention rate mark consistently, especially for reels less than 30 seconds in length. If your reel is over a minute long, getting a 40% retention rate would still be considered impressive. 60% plus retention rate videos typically explode in views. So let's say you make a 20-second reel. The average watch time should be no less than 10 seconds. With the 60% virality rule, you are practically guaranteed to go viral if your average watch time exceeds 12 seconds. You might not go viral every time, but getting a 60% retention rate over an extended period of time will inevitably lead to growth, assuming you aren't severely shadow banned. If your retention rates are low, your content lacks quality. If you struggle to uncover what features of your content harm your retention rates, I recommend you undertake a simple experiment where you post 10 reels while making sure the 10 videos are completely different to one another stylistically. And once you compare the data and retention rates, and write a list of the things that cause some of those videos to perform well, and write another list of the things that cause some of the videos to receive poorer retention rates. This is the best way to objectively learn and understand what audiences really want. Sometimes we create videos we'd love to see ourselves, although the truth is that just because you like your own content, it doesn't mean that the general audience will. The last tip is commonly talked about, but before you click off, I want to actually provide a solution to the reason why people struggle to follow it. I'm talking about consistency. The truth is, you might be really motivated and hyped up when you first begin your theme page journey. I can promise you that the day will come where you will rethink the entire theme page process. The guy that posts average content with an average content strategy for 3 years straight will make more money and gain more followers than the guy that has a superior content strategy with better content he gives up in the first 6 months. Do some of the following to keep your mindset in check. I recommend recording yourself telling your future self not to give in to external pressures. Tell the future you the reasons why you embarked on the theme page growth journey in the first place, and make sure your core reasons for starting are foundationally deep enough. You also must be very self-aware of how your mind operates, and your mind will come up with new business or project ideas once the novelty of your current project begins to wear off. This is known as shiny object syndrome. Remind yourself that although other business models could lead you to monetary success, straying away from the original business model you committed to will likely do more harm than good. If you see a finance YouTuber excitedly talk about this brand new business idea, either ignore it completely or do proper research before deciding to jump ship. Oh, and it goes without saying, forget posting photos. Only post reels in the beginning and switch to carousels consisting to 3 to 4 videos once you gain momentum.